I have a story. When I first moved to California, I moved to San Diego. And I lived in a house with some friends. Just different friends. And I guess the year was about fall of 1983. And I noticed that my friends had a garden. There was a lot of different peppers. Most of them were jalapeno peppers. It was a really pretty garden. There was reds, yellows, and greens. It was all over the place. So one day I had an idea, and I was thinking, alright, let me collect them and chop them all up and put them in the freezer for storage. We can use them to cook. Put them in my chili, it'd be perfect. So I went outside and gathered some up, brought them into the house, washed them all off, made sure they were dry, put them to the side. So it took me a minute to figure out how exactly to cut them, but I decided that first I needed to cut off the stems and throw those out, so I did. And then I opened them and I scooped all the seeds out. Threw those out as well. So I had a big pile of them sitting there. And then as soon as I cut off the stem and scooped out the seeds, I noticed that the palms of my hands were, tingling, burning a little bit. So I thought, okay, no big deal. Went over to the sink, washed them, and, continued with the cutting. However, the burning got worse. So that was really weird. It was just really not comfortable. So I went back over to the sink, washed my hands again. I used a brush this time. I scrubbed them off, washed them really, really well. I dried them off. That didn't work. The burning continued to get worse and worse, and I didn't know what to do. So I finally decided that the best idea would be to get a bowl, fill it with ice water, and stick my hands in it. So that's what I did. Oh wow, it was much better. The ice water felt great on the hands. So it seemed to be working. So after about an hour of sitting there, I was like, okay, that's got to be enough. So I took my hands out, dried them off, put some lotion on it. Oh no, the lotion made the hands burn, my hands burned so much worse, so I stuck them back into the ice water immediately. When my friends came home and saw me, they asked me what I was doing. Well, I went outside, I cut some peppers, and now my hands are burning and I can't get it to stop. So we were trying to figure out what to do. So we decided to call a nurse hotline. So my friend called because my hands were in the water. It had been 3 or 4 hours I had been sitting there, and the tips of my fingers were shriveled up, and my hands were cold. And they told me to use meat tenderizer, and I was like, are you serious? Did you make that up? It seemed a little silly. And they told me to rub that on my hands, but whatever, I figured I'd try it. So I went to the cabinet, and oh my god, I sprinkled on it burned so bad. Ugh, it was a bad idea. So I stuck my hands back in the water. It had been 5 or 6 hours of me sitting there, so I got really tired. I've been sitting there almost all day. So I was thinking, okay, how can I do this in bed? So I set the bowl kind of on the corner of my bed and laid back and let my hands lay over the bed into the bowl because man, I was tired. But I finally fell asleep. But then I woke up about 12:30 or 1 in the morning, and it seemed to be the burning had stopped. So, but as soon as I woke up, oh no, it burned. So I was like, oh no, go back to sleep, go back to sleep. So after that fiasco, I decided I would not mess with any jalapeno peppers ever again without wearing gloves, always.